Good afternoon, students. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, students. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Audible.
Thank you for the reply. So let us start with the today's class. So in the last lecture, we started with the tuple relational calculus. Previously, we studied about the relational algebra, and now we are studying about the calculus languages. And now one of that is a tuple relational calculus. So in the tuple relational calculus, we have seen multiple queries, just like finding the name of the instructor with salary greater than $80,000, etc. So here we have seen that we are using some symbols in order to write a query. So this is a tuple based. It means that whatever query we are writing, that is written in terms of a tuple. Tuple refers to a record from a database. So whenever we are writing a database or whenever we are writing a query, we are writing the query with respect to a tuple, that is a record from a table. So our query may be having a single table or it may be involving multiple tables. So within that, if consider we wanted to extract few of the columns from multiple relations or multiple tables, then how to write those query, that also we have seen. So if my output is equivalent to the any record from an existing table, then also I can write a tuple. So here a query is written in terms of a tuple. This is a non-procedural query language. Non-procedural query language which only declares what data is required without specifying the procedure. So then we have used few of the operators like connectives we have seen used, then there exist we have seen. So again, there exists previous also belong to symbol. So T belongs to instructor. It means that T is my output tuple and there exists a T tuple which belongs to an instructor. In this way, we are reading this query. And T of salary is greater than 80,000. So this is how we are reading the query. So if in the output, I'm expecting ID, name, department name, and salary of the instructor, which is exactly equivalent to the existing instructor relation schema, then we need not to go for specifying which attributes we are displaying. So this tuple already belong to us instructor. म्हणजे जे काय मी टपल म्हणजे जे काय रेकॉर्ड मी डिस्प्ले करणार आहे त्याचा फॉर्मॅट आणि माझ्या इन्स्ट्रक्टर टेबलचा फॉर्मॅट सेम आहे. या केसेसमध्ये मला कुठले कुठले कॉलम विड्रॉ करायचे हे गरज नाही पडत. जर समजा याच्या व्यतिरिक्त माझं डिस्प्ले करायचं स्ट्रक्चर जर वेगळं राहिलं, फॉर एक्झाम्पल हिअर आय एम आस्किंग फॉर ओनली आयडी अँड नेम. So in this, I'm asking for only ID and name, which is exactly of different pattern as that of compared to the instructor relation. Instructor relation contains 4 columns, but here I'm having only 2 columns. If this only 2 columns and 4 columns, obviously the structure is different. In that case, I cannot say that my T belongs to the existing structure. म्हणजे माझा T existing structure ला belong करतो असं नाही सांगू शकत. Because existing structure contains my 4 columns. Then we can use some another symbol to refer to a tuple from the existing relation. म्हणजे existing जे relation आहे त्याला रेफर करायला आपण T ऐवजी दुसरं symbol यूज करतो. So this symbol says there exists a yes, that it means yes is a tuple or yes is a record. Yes एखादी रो आहे की जी माझ्या instructor मध्ये आहे. Yes of ID, here the square bracket contains the attributes for which we are comparing the value. Yes of ID is equivalent to T of ID and yes of salary is greater than 80,000. So this is how we are passing the predicates or conditions. And also I need a name to be displayed. So we are taking ID and name from the same tuple wherever salary is greater than 80,000. So here we explicitly need to mention those columns which need to be displayed. So this is how we are writing the queries. So this is exactly equivalent to the project operation. Project operation मध्ये आपण फक्त जेवढे required column आहेत ते display करतो. So here, in order to show this projection, we are using that is equivalence operator here. yes चा आयडी टी मध्ये पास केला, yes चं नेम टी ऑफ नेम मध्ये पास केलं. So this is an example for writing a query into a tuple relational calculus. Always we are writing queries in terms of a tuple variable. म्हणजे आपल्या प्रत्येक query ही tuple variable म्हणून आपण show करतो. So again, multiple examples we have seen. So just like passing two conditions, again using multiple tables. If we are using multiple tables, then we might use different symbols for that. Again, or conditions or connectives also we have seen. Connectives, so that I can combine more than one conditions, or and any of or not any of these conditions we can use. The next, so this is an example for the and. So here, so this is an example which says that, so let us study this example. Find set of all courses taught in the fall 2009 semester and in spring 2010 semester. Okay, so let us go for the first schema. So I'm having a section relation. Within the section relation, we are having course ID. Course ID म्हणजे माझा कुठला course. Section ID, which section from the course, semester, year, then building, room number, and time slot ID. Okay, this is my schema of a section relation. So the query says that I need to find all the courses which are taught in fall 2009 and in spring 2010. Okay, this is my requirement. So obviously this, after this semester is given, it means that this value is for the semester and this value is for the year. So let us pass the query first. So I'll copy only first part. So here we are writing right now, in order to refer to this schema, we are using a yes symbol. So the current query outputs those tuple T refers to all the records. There exists yes which belonging to the section, such that we need to display the course IDs. So course ID of the yes is equivalent to the T course ID, and yes of semester equal to fall and yes of year equal to 2009. So the first condition we have passed. Now we wanted to pass the second condition, and in spring 2010. Okay, so this is my requirement. So can we, how we can pass the condition? How we can pass the condition? Clear up to this point? Any answer? So okay, first guess. As already yes is referring to the section. So do you think that I should pass the condition that yes, I should pass the condition that yes of semester equal to spring and yes of year equal to 2010. Okay, under the normal circumstances, we will write this condition. So let us think about this practically. Is it possible that a single attribute, here we have passed the condition of and, okay, and it means that, so let me give you the introduction. So if I'm passing T1, A and D, that is and T2. Here T1 is my first condition and T2 is my second condition. And will return me true. Okay, when this condition and this condition, both conditions are true, then only and will return me the true. Right now, and operator we are having at 1, 2, 3, 4 pluses. 4 pluses, it means that all the conditions, this one plus this one plus this one need to be true. And also this one must be true and this one must be true. All the conditions are true, then only I can have output as a true. If either of the condition get false, then this will not give me a true answer. This will give me a false answer. So now this is regarding the basic functioning of a AND. Now my question is whether semester attribute can hold simultaneously fall value as well as spring value. Whether under normal circumstances, semester is my attribute which holds fall value as well as a spring value. Is it possible? Okay, you can answer into chat window. Whether it is possible to have semester attribute to have fall and spring, both the values simultaneously. Yes, either of them value can have at a single point of time. So this will true and this will be false. Under another circumstances, this will be true, this will be false. Either of the one get false, then obviously I will get a false as answer. Okay, but whether it is possible to have this fall value as well as spring value for the semester attribute simultaneously to be true. Okay, we cannot expect. For example, if right now I'm studying into third year, I cannot say that I am studying in first semester and I am studying into second semester. No, simultaneously, I will be in either of the semester. I cannot be in the both semesters simultaneously. Similarly, for the year also, either year should be just like we are having academic year like 21, 22. Either we will be in 21 or either we will be in 22. Simultaneously, both the year, not possible. Even though this is ranges from 21 to 22, it doesn't mean that I can have simultaneously 2 years. No. Having this value simultaneously for the same attribute is not possible for the same tuple as well. म्हणजे मी यस म्हणून जर एखादं टपल म्हणजे एखादं रेकॉर्ड जर सेक्शन मधलं रेफर करत असेल तर त्या रेकॉर्डला एका वेळेला फॉल 2009 या दोन व्हॅल्यू असू शकतात कारण की हा माझा वेगळा अट्रिब्यूट आहे अँड दिस इज ऑल्सो सेपरेट अट्रिब्यूट बट अलॉंग विथ दिस कॉम्बिनेशन इट कॅनॉट हॅव सायमल्टेनियसली व्हॅल्यू फॉर द अनदर म्हणजे सेम अट्रिब्यूटला दुसरी व्हॅल्यू असणं पॉसिबल नाही बिकॉज आय एम रिप्रेझेंटिंग अ सेम व्हेरिएबल. So for this purpose, we use another strategy. Either we take this as a, it means the first query we will take. Yes, we will take this as a first query and can perform intersection. Okay, just like set intersection. I cannot write the reverse U. Okay, I will copy the symbol previously. Okay, I cannot write that symbol, but this is a set intersection. Then set intersection, and along with that, I will write my different query, another query for the another condition. Instead of these two conditions, I can go for this condition. Okay, this is one way. Or instead of this, here first it will list those courses which are there into a which are taught in fall 2009, and this query will return those courses which are taught into spring 2010, and after the set intersection it will return me all the common tuples. Okay, common tuples which are available in both the outputs here as well as here. Okay, this is first solution. Another solution is that another solution says that instead of using the same attribute for representing the set, म्हणजे माझा current in order to represent a current relation tuple, I can use a separate attribute as well. Okay, I will use a U symbol. U म्हणजे आता yes म्हणजे माझा एक पॉइंटर झाला की जो पहिल्या रेकॉर्डला पॉइंट करतो, ज्याच्यामध्ये चेक करते की मी फॉल 2009 आहे का. Similarly, I will use this as another variable. हे एक वेगळं व्हेरिएबल राहील. So here instead of this, I will use this U course ID equal to T of course ID, as well as here U of semester equal to spring, and here U of year equal to 2010, and this will be my single query mentioning that we are listing those courses which are taught in fall 2009 as well as in spring 2010. Okay, let me know if you are having the doubt or still not able to get this example. Okay, this is much more simpler. If consider I am having an array. Okay, I am having just like we are using 2, 3, 4. Okay, these are considered my array elements are there. समजा आपल्यामध्ये दोन एलिमेंट्स मला कंपेअर करायचे, हे दोघांमध्ये करायचंय, पुन्हा 1 आणि 3 मध्ये करायचंय. So in order to perform this comparison, I will use I variable in order to hold the value of 1. Okay, म्हणजे एकला रिप्रेझेंट करण्यासाठी मी एक इंडेक्स व्हेरिएबल यूज करेन, आणि दुसरं म्हणजे 2, 3, 4, 5. फॉर दिस पर्पज I will use another index variable. Then I can compare between I and J. Okay, this case is there whenever we are referring to elements of the same set. Okay, same set, same relation. Here instead of U, I'm using yes, which will refer to this one, and here I'm using U, which will refer to the J. It means to the same relation I'm using two tuple variables. Okay, you can read this query, check the first solution, and also check the second solution within a minute. Then we can proceed to the next point. Yes, wherever previously instead of and, here or was there. So in that case, we can use here set union also. Okay, in such cases, we can use set union in order to combine results of this query as well as results of this query. Okay, now let us move to the next query. So find the set of all courses taught in fall 2009 semester, but not in the spring 2010. Okay, the part here, the courses which are taught in this semester but not in spring 2010. It means only those which are available into fall 2009. Plus the courses which are taught in spring, those we need to remove from that. So this is exactly similar to our set difference. Set difference, it means that we are replying or we are giving output as those elements of R which are not available in yes. Okay. So R minus yes, it means that those which are common between R and yes, those will be removed from the R and remaining will be given as an output. So for this purpose here, not symbol is used. Those courses which are taught in fall 2009 and those which are taught in spring 2010, those are removed. So exactly reverse, the not symbol we are using here. So this you can also mention by using a set difference. First query, complete this, use the minus sign, and then the second query. Okay, now let us move to the last part, that is universal quantification. So universal quantification, it means that wherever we wanted to take the courses, there only. Okay, so first universal quantification. If I'm saying that R implies yes, R implies yes. If R is true, yes will be also true. Okay. So universal quantification, it means that if this is getting true, definitely yes will get true. Okay. So for this purpose, we are having this symbol. So wherever we wanted to apply query for, wherever we wanted to collect results related to a subject or some department, etc., then in that cases, we can use such queries. So the query says that find all the students who have taken all courses offered in the biology department. Okay. So this is my current query. That is find all the students who have taken all the courses offered in a biology department. So before moving to this query, let us move to the schema. So within that, right now, I don't need instructor. As department name is also available into course. So I don't need this department relation also. Let me check the schema for the text. Okay, this is my right now current schema. So within that, Okay, as underscore is also part of our this variable, I will make this bold in order to mention that this is my primary key. This is my primary key. And here also I'm having this as a primary key. So forget about this. I will remove this. Okay, let us go for answering this question. So first is that we need to understand which are the courses given by the biology department. So here I need to find out all those course IDs which are offered by the department, that is a biology. So first we need to retrieve the course IDs. So let us write a query. So right now I cannot use T because that is not my requirement. Here I need all the students. Okay, students, this is my requirement. Or I can say the student ID is my requirement. So T refers to the required ID. म्हणजे माझा T ID ला रिप्रेझेंट करतो. मग त्यासाठी मी कोर्स साठी एक वेगळं व्हेरिएबल यूज करते, दॅट इज अ yes. So I will write a query yes. So yes such that there exists C. कुणी मला मदत करेल क्वेरी लिहायला? मला बायोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट मध्ये जेवढे जेवढे कोर्सेस आहेत तेवढे सगळे कोर्सेस मला विड्रॉ करायचे आहेत. So I will be using yes variable. Instead of yes, I will use u variable here. U variable represent a tuple from the right now we need a course relation. कुणाला कळतंय मी काय काय करते इथे? Up to this point. Here I wanted to list those courses, म्हणजे ते सब्जेक्ट जिथं मला डिपार्टमेंट नेम इक्वल टू बायोलॉजी आहे ते सगळे कोर्सेस मला विड्रॉ करून हवेत. आणि मला चेक करायचंय की समजा माझ्या बायोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंटने मला 4 कोर्सेस ऑफर केलं. 4 कोर्सेस कुठल्या कुठल्या स्टुडंटनी म्हणजे चारीच्या चारी कुठल्या स्टुडंटनी एनरोल केलं, दॅट इन्फॉर्मेशन इज अवेलेबल इन टू अ टेक्स्ट रिलेशन. ओके, दिस वी वॉन्टेड टू डिस्प्ले आणि तशा स्टुडंटची आयडीज मला डिस्प्ले करायचे आहेत. So my query is that find this offered in a biology department. So here समजा माझ्याकडे R जर ट्रू असेल then I need to say that yes is also true. म्हणजे हे युनिव्हर्सल क्वांटिफिकेशन म्हणजे काय की ज्या ज्या वेळेस माझं R ट्रू राहील नेहमी माझं yes पण ट्रू राहील. तर समजा माझं R जर फॉल्स असेल तर माझं yes ही फॉल्स असू शकतं किंवा नसू शकतं. पण माझा फिक्स रूल आहे की R ट्रू म्हणजे माझं yes पण ट्रूच राहणार. ओके, सो फॉर दिस पर्पज मला बायोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट मधले समजा 4 कोर्सेस जर असतील तर मग मला चेक करावं लागेल. म्हणजे जर समजा आपण क्वेरी जर लिहायचं म्हणलं तर त्या केसमध्ये मी इथे काउंट करू शकत नाही की माझे किती कोर्सेस ऑफर केलेत. सध्या मला बायोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंटची रिक्वायरमेंट आले, उद्या मला फिजिक्स डिपार्टमेंटची येऊ शकते, म्युझिकची येऊ शकते. मग त्या केसेसमध्ये मी पर सब्जेक्ट माझी रिक्वायरमेंट इथे चेंज नाही करू शकत. समजा एखाद्या डिपार्टमेंटने जर समजा 10 कोर्सेस जर ऑफर केले असतील तर मग मी प्रत्येकासोबत इथे चेक नाही करू शकत की कुणी कुणी तो कोर्स आयडी डिस्प्ले केला आहे. ओके, सो फॉर दिस पर्पज वी यूज अ युनिव्हर्सल क्वांटिफिकेशन. युनिव्हर्सल क्वांटिफिकेशन, this becomes my R and I need to write the yes. Yes says that I need to find out all the courses which are registered by the student offered by the biology department, and hence we can write this query. सो हिअर म्हणजे जेवढे जेवढे माझे आयडी या कोर्स मधून मला दिले जातात, ओके, फॉर ऑल हिअर for all symbol we are using, okay, for all courses the wherever biology department is given, and for this purpose we need to check whether yes takes id, yes refers to a variable from the id, there exists a tuple yes which takes from the text t of id इक्वल टू येस ऑफ आयडी. आणि जेवढे जेवढे फॉर ऑल कोर्सेस म्हणून आपण जे कोर्स दिलेला आहे, यू रिप्रेझेंट्स अ व्हेरिएबल फ्रॉम द कोर्स. सो येस ऑफ कोर्स आयडी इक्वल टू द यू ऑफ कोर्स आयडी. So this query we are writing in order to say a universal quantification. So I will copy. So I had not written this for all symbol. Okay, instead of this I will write a single query only. Here I had not given a student schema. Total credit refers to credit offered by the subject. Sure. Okay, now let us go to the last part of the tuple relational calculus. So tuple relational calculus. Okay, before that, so we are using a programming languages. In the programming languages, we are performing the operations like a equal to b minus c. Any of the operations we can perform. Somewhere I may perform d equal to a divided by, or consider b divided by a, etc. Okay, so if consider in between, म्हणजे माझं कॅल्क्युलेशन करताना असं झालं की बी आणि सी ची व्हॅल्यू माझी इक्वलंट आली, अँड आफ्टर दॅट आय एम परफॉर्मिंग डी इक्वल टू बी डिवायडेड बाय ए. ओके, सो दिस आन्सर गिव्स मी अन इन्फिनिटी ऍज अन आन्सर. सो ज्यावेळेस मी हे कॅल्क्युलेशन करत असते माझ्या प्रोग्रामिंग लँग्वेजेस मध्ये, सिंटॅक्टिकली माझा प्रोग्राम सगळीकडे बरोबर असतो, बट व्हॉट एव्हर द एक्सप्रेशन आय एम रायटिंग, दिस रिझल्ट म्हणजे हा जो काही माझा आन्सरचा पार्ट आहे, दॅट मे लीड टू सम इन्फायनाइट रिझल्ट, म्हणजे इन्फायनाइट व्हॅल्यू कडे जाऊ शकतो. सो फॉर अवॉइडिंग दिस एक्झाम्पल, म्हणजे असं होऊ नये याच्यासाठी आपण काय करतो की प्रोग्रामिंग लँग्वेज किंवा माझा जो कंपायलर आहे किंवा माझा जो इंटरप्रेटर आहे तो काय करतो की जर समजा माझा आन्सर जर इन्फिनिटी आला तर माझ्या प्रोग्राममध्ये एक्सेप्शन देताना माझा प्रोग्राम तिथेच फॉल्ट करतो, म्हणजे थांबवतो प्रोग्राम एक्झिक्युशन. बट वेन इट कम्स टू द डेटाबेसेस मध्ये समजा की मी असं म्हणलं की बायोलॉजी ही व्हॅल्यू सोडून जेवढे जेवढे डिपार्टमेंट आहेत तेवढे सगळ्यांमधले सब्जेक्ट कुठले कुठले आहेत. मग असं जर मी विचार केला तर माझ्याकडे सध्या सायन्स स्ट्रीम सोडून माझ्याकडे आर्ट्स आहे, कॉमर्स आहे, ह्या सगळ्या झाल्या माझ्या एक्झिस्टिंग म्हणजे माझ्या नॉलेज मधल्या टीम. त्याच्या पलीकडे माझ्याकडे खूप सारे स्ट्रीम असू शकतात की ज्यांचे कितीतरी सब्जेक्ट असू शकतात, स्पेशलायझेशन असू शकतं. पण ज्यावेळेस मी म्हणते की बायोलॉजी सोडून उरलेले, त्यावेळेस मग तो माझा सेट जो आहे तो डेफिनेट असू शकत नाही. ओके, सो सेफ्टी ऑफ द एक्सप्रेशन. सेफ्टी ऑफ द एक्सप्रेशन म्हणजे काय की ज्यावेळेस मी एखादा डेटाबेस ऑपरेशन करते त्यावेळेस मला रिझल्ट नेहमी डेफिनेट, म्हणजे जो की मी सांगू शकते की बाबा एक कॅल्क्युलेटिंग अमाऊंट मध्ये किंवा कॅल्क्युलेटिंग टपल्स मध्ये म्हणजे जो मी कॅल्क्युलेट करू शकते असा रिझल्ट माझा नेहमी ऍज अ आउटपुट म्हणून मला मिळायला हवा. सो हिअर वी आर हॅव्हिंग अ नॉट ऑपरेटर. नॉट ऑपरेटर म्हणजे काय की जे आहे त्याच्या रिव्हर्स. मग समजा मी असं केलं की माझ्या रिलेशन मध्ये मी 10 टपल दिले आणि मी असं दिलं की माझं टपल या रिलेशन मध्ये नाही, त्या रिलेशन मधले सोडून माझे सगळे टपल. मग एक्झिस्टिंग म्हणजे ज्यावेळेस आपण मी 4 नंबर दिले आणि 4 नंबर सोडून बाकी सगळ्या व्हॅल्यूज, मग असं ज्यावेळेस म्हणते त्यावेळेस माझ्या व्हॅल्यूच्या म्हणजे त्या चार व्हॅल्यूच्या पलीकडे माझ्याकडे खूप साऱ्या व्हॅल्यूज येतात ज्याचा रिझल्ट माझ्याकडे इन्फायनाइट असू शकतो. सो सेफ्टी ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन म्हणजे काय की माझा कुठलाही रिझल्ट इन्फायनाइट रिझल्ट नसावा, तो नेहमी डेफिनेट असावा. डेफिनेट की जो मी कॅल्क्युलेट करू शकते, की जो नेहमी एखाद्या सेट मध्ये ठेवू शकते, जो मी कॅल्क्युलेट करू शकते की हो माझ्याकडे एवढे टपल येतील तेवढे टपल येतील, ज्याला अट्रिब्यूट्स फिक्स असतील. सो इन दॅट वे आय शुड गो फॉर अ सेफ्टी ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन. सो the safety of expression says that it is possible to write tuple calculus expressions that generate a infinite results, infinite relations. म्हणजे माझं कुठलं तरी असं येऊ शकतं की जे इन्फायनाइट रिझल्टला एक्सप्रेशन पॉइंट करतं. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, द टपल इज गिवन, देर एक्झिस्ट अ टपल टी सच दॅट रिव्हर्स ऑफ ट्रू, म्हणजे माझ्या रिलेशन मध्ये नॉट टी जे आहे ते आर मध्ये बिलोंग्स टू आहे, results in the infinite relation in the domain of any attribute of relation R is infinite. म्हणजे अशी जर मी क्वेरी लिहिली तर माझा नेहमी इन्फायनाइट रिझल्टच असेल. टू गार्ड अगेन्स्ट दिस प्रॉब्लेम वी रेस्ट्रिक्ट सेट ऑफ अलावेबल एक्सप्रेशन्स टू सेफ एक्सप्रेशन्स. म्हणजे यासाठी असं कुठलंही एक्सप्रेशन माझ्या क्वेरीमध्ये अलाउ केलं जाऊ शकत नाही. सो अन एक्सप्रेशन टी पी ऑफ टी, म्हणजे पी म्हणजे माझं प्रेडिकेट in the tuple relational calculus is safe if every component of the T appears in one of the relations. म्हणजे माझ्या एक्सप्रेशन मधला प्रत्येक कॉम्पोनंट हा कुठल्या ना कुठल्या रिलेशन मध्ये यायलाच हवा. टपल्स, कॉन्स्टंट्स किंवा सगळे जेवढे जेवढे काही मी कंडिशन टाकते ते कुठं ना कुठं माझ्या रिलेशन मध्ये अपियर व्हायलाच हवं. ओके, सो हिअर ऑल्सो म्हणजे टी ऑफ ए इक्वल टू 5 इज ऑर ट्रू, म्हणजे ही ट्रू अशी मी कंडिशन टाकली म्हणजे काय की जरी माझ्या अट्रिब्यूट मध्ये समजा टी ऑफ ए इक्वल टू अट्रिब्यूट ही कंडिशन ट्रू असो किंवा नसो, ट्रू हा नेहमी ट्रूच राहील आणि माझे ऑर कंडिशन आहे म्हणजे माझ्या या क्वेरीचा आउटपुट नेहमी ट्रू राहीलच. मग त्या केसमध्ये मला परत इथं इन्फायनाइट रिझल्ट मिळतो. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो नॉट सेफ एक्सप्रेशन. ओके, अगेन दिस लीड्स टू अन इन्फायनाइट एक्सप्रेशन. म्हणजे समजा मी कुठल्या तरी अट्रिब्यूटला कुठलीही व्हॅल्यू घेतली, म्हणजे एखादं इनव्हॅलिड अट्रिब्यूट जरी घेतलं, व्हॅलिड नाही ही कंडिशन फॉल्स आहे, पण अदर पार्ट ऑफ माय कंडिशन इज ट्रू बिकॉज ऑफ विच दिस होल एक्सप्रेशन returns me a true value. So then this is not a safe expression. मी क्वेरी अशीच लिहायला हवी की जे मला डिफाइनाइट आन्सरच देईल. क्लिअर? सो म्हणजे इथं मी एखादा कॉन्स्टंट वगैरे यूज करू शकते, पण ट्रू ऍज अन आउट म्हणजे ट्रू ही माझी फिक्स व्हॅल्यू आहे, पण ती इथं कुठलंही एक्सप्रेशन नाहीये माझ्याकडे. मग त्या केसमध्ये मी इथं ऑर म्हणून ट्रू म्हणून लिहू शकत नाही. इथं पण हे माझं एक एक्सप्रेशनच हवं की जे अंडर सर्कम कंडिशन्स ट्रू किंवा फॉल्स व्हॅल्यू चेंजिंग असू शकते. ओके, so this is another example. So we'll skip this as already we clear with the safety of expressions. Now we will move to the another part, that is a domain relational calculus. So let me know what is mean by a domain. What is mean by a domain?
Which is having an image in the image.
Image.
Image means face value we can say.
म्हणजे
म्हणजे 2 सेट असतात ना ए आणि बी.
हा.
तर जे फर्स्ट एलिमेंट असतो तो डोमेन असतो.
हा.
तर त्याच्यामध्ये सगळे ऑर्डरमध्ये.
हा, हा.
मी सेट थेअरी मध्ये सांगते तो.
Okay, domain. Domain, for example, if I'm writing here int a, okay. So int a, this variable I'm defining, it means that this is specifying which of the possible values of my a can be. म्हणजे माझ्या a ची व्हॅल्यू कुठून ते कुठपर्यंत असू शकते. That is given by a domain. If I'm talking about the integer, then it says that what a minimum value a can have and what a maximum value a can have. Along with that, it also defines what are the possible operations. Okay, so what are the possible operations also I can perform on the a. For example, addition, subtraction, minimum, maximum, again average, etc. But when it comes to some another type, for example character, etc., then it defines another set of the values and another set of the possible operations. So when we talk about the domain, it means that it refers to a set of permitted values. Okay, a minimum value and a maximum value. Okay, so domain represents a variable or domain represents a value सेट. म्हणजे माझ्या एखाद्या अट्रिब्यूटला मिनिमम आणि मॅक्सिमम व्हॅल्यू काय असू शकते किंवा कुठल्या रेंज मध्ये माझी व्हॅल्यू असू शकते, दॅट इज गिवन बाय अ डोमेन. सो वॉट एव्हर आवर नेक्स्ट क्वेरी लँग्वेज इज देअर, दिस इज बेस्ड ऑन द डोमेन व्हॅरिएबल्स. म्हणजे पुढची जी लँग्वेज आपण स्टडी करणार आहोत क्वेरी लँग्वेज, सो दॅट uses a makes use of domain variables. So let us see. So again, this is a non-procedural query language that it only declares what is required without giving how the data should be extracted. म्हणजे माझा डेटा कसा घ्यायचा ते सांगत नाही, फक्त काय पाहिजे ते सांगत. So again, declarative language, non-procedural query languages are also called as a declarative languages. So this domain relational calculus is somewhat different from that of the tuple relational calculus. So here every attribute is given as a domain variable. जसे की आपण प्रिव्हियसली इथं अट्रिब्यूट हे आपण अट्रिब्यूट म्हणजे आयडी स्क्वेअर ब्रॅकेट्स मध्ये रिप्रेझेंट करतो. स्टुडंट म्हणजे माझं रिलेशन आहे, टी म्हणजे माझं टपल व्हॅरिएबल आहे. इथं आपण टी एखाद्या टपलला रिप्रेझेंट केलं. बट वेन इट कम्स द डोमेन व्हॅरिएबल, डोमेन रिलेशनल कॅल्क्युलस, यातलं प्रत्येक व्हॅरिएबल म्हणजे माझं एक डोमेन व्हॅरिएबल किंवा डोमेन एखाद्या अट्रिब्यूटच्या डोमेनला रिप्रेझेंट करतं. ओके, let us go one by one. So here T represents a complete tuple. हे T म्हणजे माझं एक कम्प्लीट टपल, जे काय मला आउटपुट मध्ये हवंय ते कम्प्लीट टपल. समजा एक अट्रिब्यूट असेल, मल्टिपल असतील, फक्त आयडी आहे, नेम आहे. सो दिस इज गिवन बाय अ T simple symbol, that is T represents a tuple and T represents a record. But when it comes to domain variable, डोमेन मध्ये माझ्याकडे जेवढे अट्रिब्यूट असतील तेवढे अट्रिब्यूट माझ्या डोमेन व्हॅरिएबल्स असतील. म्हणजे मला आउटपुट मध्ये तीन समजा अट्रिब्यूट डिस्प्ले करायचे तर त्या तिन्हीचे पण डोमेन व्हॅरिएबल माझ्या क्वेरी मध्ये येतील. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, आय नीड आयडी अँड नेम. आयडी साठी एक वेगळं व्हॅरिएबल राहील, नेम साठी माझं वेगळं डोमेन व्हॅरिएबल रिप्रेझेंट करेल. ओके, सो दिस इज अ फॉर्म ऑफ द बेसिक क्वेरी. हे माझा एक क्वेरीचा बेसिक पॅटर्न आहे. So within the angular brackets, this represents a x1, x2 up to xn. It can have multiple attributes where p says a predicate or condition and x12 based on the x12 xn domain variables. Okay, so remember that these x1, x2, xn represent a domain variables. Okay, and p represents a condition. Let us see the example. So this is an example for the domain relational calculus query. So find name, ID, department name and salary for the instructors whose salary is greater than $80,000. ओके. सो म्हणजे मला सगळे ऍट्रिब्यूट फाइंड आउट करायचे आहेत. आयडी, नेम, डिपार्टमेंट नेम आणि सॅलरी. मग हे 4 ऍट्रिब्यूट आहेत म्हणल्यानंतर मला चारही ऍट्रिब्यूट्सना एक एक डोमेन व्हेरिएबल हवा. सो आय रिप्रेझेंट्स आयडी, एन रिप्रेझेंट्स नेम, D represents department name and S represents a salary. Okay. Then from which relation these attributes are taken or domain variables are taken. So INDS, this complete tuple belongs to an instructor relation. And yes, as salary is represented by a domain variable yes, so yes should be greater than the 80,000. So this is a simple format of the query which we can write in terms of a domain relational calculus. Now, in the next query, here we are taking the complete record. म्हणजे जसे माझे attribute माझ्या instructor मध्ये आहेत तेवढे सगळेचे सगळे attributes माझे इथे असतील. So here I can say that this completely belongs to the instructor. Now it might happen that we may ask only display the ID. In that case also, same expression ID, that is INDS belongs to the instructor. Yes is greater than 80,000. But out of that, only I need to represent an ID. So only ID will be a part of my output tuple. Okay. So this is how we are writing a query. So next query, find names of all instructor whose department is in Watson building. So then again, Watson building belongs to the department relation and names of instructor belongs to a instructor. So again, we write a schema for this. Okay, first we write a schema. So here, remember that we are just the way we are using a department name multiple times into a multiple relations. For example, in the department, instructor, courses, everywhere we use the same domain variable. म्हणजे तेच जे डिपार्टमेंट नेम डिपार्टमेंट मध्ये यूज केले तेच डोमेन व्हेरिएबल आपण दुसऱ्या अट्रिब्यूट मध्ये सुद्धा दुसऱ्या रिलेशन्स मध्ये सुद्धा वी कॅन यूज. Okay, so I will copy this query. Find names of all instructors. I wanted to find the name of all the instructors. So it means that in the output, I'm expecting only N, that is name of the instructor. This is my first requirement. Then we wanted to say that whose department is in Watson building. Okay. So here I need first pass the condition that INDS, this tuple belongs to the instructor. Then we also wanted to check the condition that salary greater than 80,000. This condition right now we don't need. Okay. Then we wanted to only those departments where building is equal to department name. So it means that first I need to list the tuple from the department relation. For example, I will use D variable, as here already D is used for the department name. So I will use D variable. So D represents my department, B represents my building, and budget. You might be thinking why I can't use a budget only, because B already represents a building domain variable. So we cannot use B again for the budget. You can use any other symbol. So I will use a U symbol, which represents that this tuple belong to department relation. Okay. So, and also we wanted to check condition that the Watson building name is there. So building name should be Watson. So again, put the condition that B equal to Watson. And this condition should be in connective with the and. Okay, done. Here we have selected those departments or those department details wherever Watson is a building. Then again we must check that this D and this D to be equivalent. म्हणजे मला इथं अशी कंडिशन हवी की हे आणि हे दोन्ही पण इक्वल असायला हवं. सो बट वेन वी कम्स टू द डिपार्टमेंट, म्हणजे माझ्याकडे ज्यावेळेस अशी रिक्वायरमेंट येते की बाबा म्हणजे मी डी म्हणजे माझं डिपार्टमेंट नेम इकडं पण तेच असलं पाहिजे. समजा फिजिक्स माझं डिपार्टमेंट वॉटसन बिल्डिंग मध्ये आहे आणि तेच डिपार्टमेंट मी इन्स्ट्रक्टर साठी रेफर करते. सो हिअर वेन वी यूज अ सेम डोमेन व्हेरिएबल, म्हणजे ज्यावेळेस मी इथं आणि इथं सेम डोमेन व्हेरिएबल यूज करतात त्यावेळेस मी ही इक्वलन्सची कंडिशन ऑटोमॅटिकली पुश करते. म्हणजे इथं मला एक्सप्लिसिटली सांगावं नाही लागत की बाबा माझ्याकडे डी आणि बी म्हणजे सेपरेट व्हेरिएबल आहेत आणि डी म्हणजे माझा इथला डिपार्टमेंट नेम आहे आणि हा डी म्हणजे माझा डिपार्टमेंटचा डिपार्टमेंट नेम फ्रॉम द डिपार्टमेंट. येस, दिस डी बिलॉंग्स टू डिपार्टमेंट, म्हणजे हे डिपार्टमेंट नेम माझ्या डिपार्टमेंट मधलं आहे. हे डी म्हणजे माझ्या इन्स्ट्रक्टर मधलं आहे. पण ज्या वेळेस मी याला पण सेम व्हेरिएबल म्हणजे हे पण माझं डिपार्टमेंट नेमच आहे आणि हे पण माझं डिपार्टमेंट नेमच आहे, ही इक्वलन्सची कंडिशन ऑटोमॅटिकली माझ्याकडे पुश होते. ओके, हे अँड टाकते म्हणजे काय की मी हे दोन्ही पण कंडिशन म्हणजे डीच्या इक्वलन्सची कंडिशन फोर्स करते. हा, इट माइट हॅपन दॅट की माझ्याकडे वॉटसन बिल्डिंग आहे, मग सगळेचे सगळे म्हणजे इथे काय कार्टेशियन प्रोडक्ट वगैरे हे ऑटोमॅटिकली नाही होत. हे इक्वलन्सची कंडिशन इम्प्लिसिटली त्याच्यावर प्लेस होते. बट हिअर आय नीड टू मेन्शन द कंडिशन दॅट म्हणजे INDS इन्स्ट्रक्टर मधलं घ्या आणि INDS म्हणजे हे इन्स्ट्रक्टर मधलं टपल आहे. मग मला इथं देअर एक्झिस्ट there exists I D there exists I, D and S such that INDS belongs to instructor. There exists B B and U such that department belongs to DBU belongs to the department and B equal to Watson, and then D represents INDS represents the tuple from the instructor relation, and D already is part of this instructor. That's why we need not to mention here again. Okay, and directly we can go for writing a query. So this is how we are writing a query. Clear? So shall we go for the example now? Okay. Okay, first we'll go for a simple example. Find names of instructors whose department is not CSE. Okay, this is my requirement. So how we can write this condition? Find names of the instructor whose department is not CSE. Okay, similarly here, whatever connectives we can use into the domain, a tuple relational calculus, the same connectives we can use into a tuple relational domain and tuple, same connectives we can use, and, or, and, not. Okay, already half part is available. Only the condition is remaining.
Now, D is equal to this.
Okay, there are two ways through which we can write. Either we can write the condition that D equal to CSE. Okay, so instead of equal to, we can write the not equal to sign. So in terms of database, whenever we are writing the query, so along with the current operators, so if equal to and scratch mark is there, it means that the backslash is there. It means that we are representing a not equal to symbol. So this is the first way we can go for. And another one suggested by a student. So here we can go for not symbol. So not symbol, we can go by using this one. So in this way also, we can go for writing a query. The tuple belongs to the INDS belongs to the instructor. There exists IDS. It means that other than the n variable, there are three other domain variables are there IDS, such that INDS, this complete tuple belongs to the instructor, and D equal to CSE except those all other Ds we are taking here. So whenever we are taking not D equal to CSE, it doesn't refer to the infinite result. This refers to the finite results only. Wherever CSE will be there at this point, this condition will become true and true will become false by using a not symbol. Wherever this condition is false will be there other than the CSE department, this condition will return a false result, and false negated by this symbol will become true. And hence this true and this true combinedly will give me the all department names. Names of all instructor, those who are not from the CSE department. Any doubt in the query given? So again, let us go for writing the query based on the remaining the same statements. So I'll copy this statement. I'm expecting query answer. So again, for this also refer to the same schema, whatever previously we are using. Okay, let us write a query for this statement. Find the set of all courses taught in fall 2009 semester or in spring 2010 semester or both. Okay, so we'll take the reference of the same query. Okay, there exists n. Right now we want a course IDs. Okay, course ID I wanted to find out. So consider that I'm using a C symbol for this. So we can take the C. So our query conditions are based on the semester and year. These two values are there. So these two values are available into a section. So you might be thinking these two are available into text also. So text represents a relation where student is related to a course. Okay. So courses offered, it means that फिक्स नाहीये की प्रत्येक कोर्सला कुणी ना कुणी एनरोल केलंच असेल असं काही नाही म्हणजे सगळ्या कोर्सेसची इन्फॉर्मेशन या रिलेशन मध्ये मला मिळणार नाही. But section represents that yes, this course available whether taught or not, that depends. But right now I will have this value for the every course available into my university. So I wanted to represent each of these attributes by using a domain variable. म्हणजे प्रत्येक attribute ला एक domain variable मला हवंय. So course represents a C, that is already covered. Then section ID represents it by a section. So then semester, I will use E symbol for this. So you might be thinking on which basis I am choosing the symbols. Yes, usually the first letter we choose this as a domain variable. The first letters are available nasil तर मग second घ्या, second जर available नसेल third घ्या. Or there are 26 26 letters into English language. You can take any of the alphabet as a representing domain variable. So I'm taking yes for the section ID, E for the semester, Y for the year, B for the building, then R for the room number, and T for the time slot ID. Okay. Here it is mandatory to have remaining all the attributes. म्हणजे जेवढे जेवढे काही attribute मी इतर रिप्रेझेंट केलं तेवढे सोडून माझ्या रिलेशन मध्ये जेवढे उरलेले ऍट्रिब्यूट आहेत फॉर इच ऑफ देम आय शुड रिप्रेझेंट अ डोमेन व्हॅरिएबल. त्या प्रत्येकासाठी मला एक एक डोमेन व्हॅरिएबल द्यावं लागतं. सो देन यू कॅन स्टार्ट विथ युअर टपल. म्हणजे माझ्या सिक्वेन्स की म्हणजे माझ्या रिलेशन मध्ये इन विच सिक्वेन्स आय एम हॅव्हिंग अ टपल. And the relation name is section. Done. So this first condition is done, that CSE YBRT, this tuple belongs to the section. Then we can go for another conditions, that semester should be equal to fall and year should be equal to 2010. Then pass those conditions. So I don't need this symbol now. So right now fall, this is my semester value. So semester is represented by E value. So E, I will pass the condition like E equal to, I need this value to be equal to fall. Then again, after this, I need year equal to 2009. So in between, this is a mandatory condition. म्हणजे असं नाही की fall, semester fall किंवा year 2009. No, this is a combinedly forming my condition. So it means I need to add and here. So this first part is over, that there exists a tuple which belongs to the section with domain variables CSE, Y, BRT. Then again, we wanted to check for the spring and 2010. Then again, we can pass the condition. The same condition also we can pass here with the union. There, this is my second condition. This is my completing the first and second condition. As compared to the tuple relational calculus, don't you think that domain is somewhat easier? Yes. So again, we wanted to check condition for the and. Okay, so this request is regarding the and. So here also we can go for using different domain variables. म्हणजे असं नाही की हेच व्हेरिएबल यूज केले पाहिजे किंवा एका डोमेन व्हेरिएबलला रिप्रेझेंट करतोय म्हणजे तो इतकेच असला पाहिजे. नो, हियर वी कॅन चेंज द एनी वे which through which we are representing this. Or here course ID I'm referring. So again you can use S1, E1, Y1, B1, R1, T1 belong to the section, and E1 equal to spring and Y1 equal to 2010. In this way also we can represent. So, but here we need to mention that there exists S1, there exists Y1, E1, B1, R1 and T1 variables, domain variables, such that this belongs to the section relation, and E1 of string equal to E1 equal to string and Y1 equal to 2010. In such case, we directly can go for and condition mentioning here for the below requirement. That is, whenever there is a and is there. So the same query we can write. So this is an output. Again, now let us move to the safety of expression. The same. Domain relational calculus in terms of tuples. Whenever we are writing a query, if we write not a relation or not belong to the relation, then everything comes under that set. So similarly, in terms of domain expression also, whenever we are writing query in terms of domain relational calculus, we need to take the consideration into the regarding domain that if we are limiting their exist for all etc., then whatever our expression leads to, that also should give me the definite answer or definite number of the elements. So it should not give me the infinite answer. So always we should write a query into a safe expression which leads to a definite result. So the expression under curly brackets x1 to xn, where p is given by the condition on x1 to xn, it's safe if all of the following holds. The first condition is that all the values that appear in the tuple of expression are values from the domain of P. Okay, म्हणजे ज्या ज्या allowed domain आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये ती आहे, that is the values appear either in P or tuple of the relation mentioned by the mentioned in P. एकतर म्हणजे ती माझी कंडिशन बेस जी असते तिथे कॉन्स्टंट व्हॅल्यू असू शकते की जसं इक्वल टू 30 इक्वल टू 35. मग ते एकतर ती व्हॅल्यू माझ्या क्वारी मध्ये दिसायला हवी किंवा एखाद्या दुसऱ्या रिलेशन मधून घेतलेली असावी. ओके, फॉर एव्हरी देअर एक्झिस्ट द सब फॉर्म्युला ऑफ द फॉर्म देअर एक्झिस्ट x and p1 of x1. Okay, so the sub formula is true if and only if there is a value of x in the domain of p1. Okay, such that p1 of x is true. So whenever this condition we are passing, this condition must hold true onto the x. जर समजा माझ्याकडे x लिमिटेड आहे, त्यांच्यावर माझी कंडिशन लिमिटेड आहे and which leads to the limited result, मग त्या केसेस मध्ये in that case only this expression will return me a true value and there should be existence of x values. जर माझ्या x व्हॅल्यू जर एक्झिस्टिंग असतील तर माझी कंडिशन ट्रू होईल आणि जर कंडिशन जर ट्रू झाले तरच मला मग माझा डेफिनेट म्हणजे एलिमेंट्स काउंट करता येईल इतका माझा सेट मिळेल. बट समजा माझी जर कंडिशन फॉल्स असेल, देन फॉर एव्हरी एक्स, म्हणजे समजा एक्स वर जे काही मी कंडिशन टाकली आहे त्याचा जर रिझल्ट माझा फॉल्स असेल तर मग त्या केसेसमध्ये देर एक्झिस्ट एक्स की म्हणजे जे फॉल्स आहे कंडिशन, मग त्या केसेसमध्ये माझ्याकडे लिमिट नाही राहत की बाबा माझ्याकडे किती व्हॅल्यूज असू शकतात. सिमिलरली फॉर ऑल that is for all sub formula of the form for all x p1 of x, मग त्या केसेस मध्ये सुद्धा माझी x जी आहे ती काउंटेबल असावी, ट्रू असावी. कंडिशन p1 is there, that should be true, then only I can say that the given statement is in the safe expressions. Okay, and this is an example for the universal quantification. So similarly, as previously we have used tuple variables, here we are using a domain variables. So please go through the query and we will start with the SQL in the remaining part. Any doubt in the query? So now let us move to the next part. Okay, I hope you remember that we have started with this contents. म्हणजे काय केलं होतं की मी की थर्ड चॅप्टर चालू करताना आधी रिलेशनल अल्जेब्रा, टपल रिलेशनल, डोमेन रिलेशनल आणि रिलेशनल मॉडेलचा फर्स्ट पार्ट चालू करायच्या आधी एसक्यूएल चा पार्ट चालू केला होता. सो लेट अस रिवाइज द कंटेंट्स व्हॉट वी हॅव लर्न. सो दिस MySQL was part of project of IBM in 1970s. This was released as a part of System R. Okay, R. This was previously referring to a relational database. Okay, relational databases name is given because we are storing the related data, and that's why the System R initially name was given, and later on it changed to the relational databases. But R represents a relations, that is interrelated data. So initially this was called as a SQL. Then SQL, this is established itself as a standard relational database languages. म्हणजे इनिशियली ज्यावेळेस माझा सिक्वेल आला त्यावेळेस तो इतका कमर्शियली सक्सेसफुल नाही झाला. बट लेटर ऑन इट आफ्टर द रिलेशनल मॉडेल जरा जास्त स्ट्रॉंग झाल्यानंतर मग माझ्या एसक्यूएलचं एस्टॅब्लिशमेंट स्ट्रॉंग झालं. So in 1986, the American National Standards Institute, that is ANSI, and ISO, this published an SQL standard, that is SQL 86. So this was the first commercial release of a SQL. Okay, then SQL parts we have started with, that is data definition language and data manipulation language. Data definition, it means that this is used in order to define a structure. Okay, माझ्या डेटाबेसचा structure or schema. For this definition, we are using a data definition language. म्हणजे माझा डेटा कसा स्टोर राहावा. For this purpose, we need to create a design, and that design nothing but a database schema. So within the databases, I'm having multiple relations, multiple tables. This might, each one might be having a different schema. प्रत्येकाचं स्ट्रक्चर माझं वेगवेगळं असू शकतं. And for this purpose, we are using DDL, data definition languages. So under this commands, we can go for defining the relations, deleting the relations, and modifying the relations. Okay, modifying the relations, it means that here we are dealing with the structure of a data only. Okay, आपण DDL मध्ये डेटाच्या स्ट्रक्चर वर फक्त वर्क करतो. Okay, and then data manipulation languages. Data manipulation, so here I am defining how my data should be, and here I am manipulating म्हणजे कमी जास्त करणं. So at this point I may go for adding the new information. Now all the structure part, म्हणजे माझा डेटा कसा स्टोर व्हावा, that is defined by the DDL, आणि कुठला डेटा स्टोर व्हावा, that is defined by the DML. Okay, so it only deals with the values, it doesn't go for the structure of my database. So that's why these two main parts are there for the SQL. So here we can go for adding the new information, or we might want to retrieve data from the database, किंवा मला डेटाबेस मधला डेटा रीड करायचा आहे, त्या केसेस मध्ये सुद्धा DML यूज करतो. So deleting the records or modifying the records. So tuples, this represents a complete row. Tuples म्हणजे माझ्या एका टेबल मधले भरपूर rows, or it may refer to more than one relations also. Then again, in the DDL we are having other parts, that is integrity. म्हणजे डेटाबेस मध्ये माझे इंटिग्रिटी सुद्धा असते. इंटिग्रिटी म्हणजे असे काही रूल्स की जे मी माझ्या रिअल लाईफच्या डेटा सोबत माझा डेटाबेस मॅच करावा, त्याच्यासाठी एक रूल्स अप्लाय करतात. Then view definition, it means that out of complete database मला फक्त थोडासाच डेटा व्ह्यू करायचा आहे. For this purpose, views are defined. Transaction control, performing a logical task. For this purpose, transactions are required. Embedded SQL and dynamic SQL, wherever we are writing SQL along with the other languages. म्हणजे बाकीच्या प्रोग्रामिंग लँग्वेजेस सोबत ज्यावेळेस मी डेटाबेसच्या क्वेरीज लिहिते, that comes under embedded SQL and dynamic SQL, where we are making use of other programming languages. And the last part is authorization. Authorization, it means that who should access my data and what accessibility to be given to that user. म्हणजे कुणाला डेटाचा माझा ऍक्सेस मिळावा आणि कुठले कुठले ऑपरेशन्स युजरला द्यावं, दॅट इज डिसाइडेड बाय द ऑथरायझेशन. Data definition. So in detail, so this defines a schema for each relation. म्हणजे माझ्या प्रत्येक रिलेशनचा स्कीमा. Then type of values associated with each attribute. This defines my domain constraint. म्हणजे की माझा रोल नंबर कुठल्या टाईपचा हवा, नेम कुठल्या टाईपचा हवा, that is given by the attribute, that is types of the values or domain of my attributes. The integrity constraint. For example, I wanted to pass the constraint that Aadhaar number is compulsory and is not repeated. It means that this is matching with the real life values. So my database should not allow for the repetition of the values and absence of the values. Then the set of indices. If for the fast access, if I wanted to define the data structure, then I can define. Then security and authorization information also we can perform by using our data definition. And then physical storage of each relation on the disk. म्हणजे माझा डेटा कुठे स्टोर व्हावा, that is also decided by the data definition. Then let us see which are the basic types available. So character is one of the basic types, which is fixed length character, varchar, variable length character, then integer, the finite set of the integer. So this represents a whole integers, म्हणजे complete integer. It doesn't support a floating point numbers. Then small int, the integer with small capacity, numeric. One of the ways to use a fixed floating point arithmetic. Real and double with high precision. We can go for this representation of the floating points. And also we can go for the float values. Then commands on the database. So commands on the database, it means that whenever we wanted to use the database, what should be the first task we should do? So initially, whenever we wanted to, we are opening our databases. So initially we need to create our database. So for creating a database, we can write the command create database and then database name. Okay. So here we wanted to make sure that this database name should not get repeated. In that case, we can first go for the commands like show databases, which will display the list of all the databases available into my existing system. मला माझा डेटाबेस तयार करायच्या आधी मला चेक करायचे की कुठली कुठली नावं एक्झिस्टिंग आहेत, सो दॅट वी कॅन गो फॉर सम अनदर डिफरंट नेम. एकाच डेटाबेसचे एकाच नावाचे दोन डेटाबेसेस नाहीत चालत सिस्टीम मध्ये. सो first list the existing databases, then you can create your own database by using a create database and database name command. Okay, so here in the name should always start with the variable or alphabet. You can start with the underscore also, but that is not preferable. Start with the alphabet, and in between you can continue with the integers, but space is not allowed. Then after creating a database, you can go for accessing the database by using use command, use and then database name. Okay, for example, here I'm using testdb, then use testdb. This is a command which is used to access a database. Then basic schema definition. So basic schema definition, where I will go for creating a simple table. So if I'm saying that I wanted to create table for the student relation, okay, student relation, I wanted to define ID of the student, I wanted to define name of the student, define the department name, and then total credit. Okay, these are the attributes for which I wanted to create a table. So this is called as a schema of my student. So again, I wanted to put the restriction that ID should be of type integer, name should be compulsory. That who is there? So if consider we wanted to create a table for this relation, then we can create a table. So definition is create table. This is a starting starting command with the creating table student. Then within that first we need to list the attribute. म्हणजे माझे कुठले कुठले attribute माझ्या टेबल मध्ये असू शकतात. So this is my table name. Table name start with the curve bracket. Then ID of a student. If I want ID to be of type integer, then I can define the domain constant. Then after defining the ID, I need name of the student, which is of type character. So character we are not generally using, only variable length characters we are using. So what may be the difference between character and var character? So character, this is a fixed length value. So fixed length value म्हणजे काय की समजा मी character name of the student I have given as SSK. Okay, this is the name. So now other than these 3 characters, still there are 17 characters are there. So character makes this as a fixed length. It means that this will add the 17 spaces after the SSK. And whenever as a database user, whenever I'm giving the condition that find the name wherever name equal to SSK. Okay, yes, right now we seems that the data, this value is available into my database. But whenever we are looking for this condition, बिफोर म्हणजे माझ्याकडे समजा 10 व्हॅल्यूज आहेत, ते प्रत्येक व्हॅल्यू याच्यासोबत कंपॅरिझन करायच्या आधी व्हॉट माय डीएमएल इंटरप्रेटर डज, चेक करतो की आधी याची लेंथ आणि याची लेंथ इक्वल आहे का. Here whenever we are going for the comparison, it always first check the length of the strings. Here I am having the length of 20 and here I am having length of only 3, and because of which even though this value is available, even though this is added with the space, still it gives me the result as wherever SSK is there, it will always give me result as false. ओके, त्या प्रत्येक केसेस मध्ये इवन दो माझी SSK ची व्हॅल्यू 3दा रिपीटेड होऊ देत, 2दा रिपीटेड होऊ देत, such cases because of this space its length will be 20 and this length will be 3, and hence as length is not matching, so this gives directly output as it as a false. Okay, and for this purpose म्हणजे असं होऊ नये, that's why we use a var character, variable length character. It doesn't add any extra space at this point. Variable length character माझं कुठल्याही स्टेजला एक्स्ट्रा स्पेस ऍड करत नाही, and because of which whenever I'm going for the searching for the name, it only checks with the current length only. Okay, so variable length character. The next I need a department name. Department name, again I can have different length of department name. After definition of each column, give the comma. Done. At the last column, if you're not defining anything after this, so then you can close your query. Okay, this is how we are writing a query. Attribute name, concerned data type, and size in terms of a character or alphabetical data. When it comes to int, small int, etc., they are having their own fixed size. We need not to mention the size. Then here we can pass the condition like primary key, foreign key, etc. So given this table, so here if you wanted to make this ID as a primary key, then we can put the constant like primary key. and in bracket ID. Done. This is how we are defining the integrity constraint. Again, department name, we wanted to form this as a foreign key. Then foreign key, department name, references, department, and in bracket department name. Done. This is how we are passing another integrity constraint. Clear with this? Okay, let us go for one more syntax. Okay, here let us define a course. This relation let us define. So within that, here consider that this is my primary key. Okay, course ID is my primary key. Should I repeat for the character and var character or definition of a relation?
Definition of relation.
Okay. So let us start with the basic definition. Basic definition. Here, the basic definition says that here, whenever we are creating a table, first syntax we are using is create table and the table name. Okay. After the table name, then we define attributes of that table. म्हणजे मला आधी टेबल जर डिफाइन करायचा म्हणला तर मग मला टेबल मधले सगळेच्या सगळे कॉलम मला डिफाइन करावे लागतात. So one by one we write a definition for the each column. Okay, so column name A1 represents a attribute 1. म्हणजे माझ्या टेबल मध्ये जे माझं पहिलं अट्रिब्यूट असणार आहे ते डिफाइन केलं मी, त्याचं नाव डिफाइन केलं, त्याच्यानंतर त्याचा डोमेन डिफाइन केला. Domain, it means that what type of values the A1 can hold. Okay, now let us take an example for the department relation. Okay, so if I'm having a department as a relation with column names like department name, okay, building and budget. Okay, हे माझे 3 कॉलम आहेत. मला हे तिन्ही कॉलम माझ्या डिपार्टमेंट रिलेशन मध्ये हवे. So then we can go for creating a table. Create table department. Okay, so this create table R. इथपर्यंत आपण ही डेफिनेशन आहे आपली. Okay, so create table R. R म्हणजे माझा डिपार्टमेंट रिलेशन. A1 D1. A1 D1 म्हणजे माझा attribute first and the respective domain of that attribute. For example, if I am mentioning the department name, if I am mentioning the department name, this column I wanted to define. So this is becomes my first attribute. First attribute चा domain type म्हणजे data type कुठला आहे. So I am having a data type of department name to be variable length character. Okay, माझं डिपार्टमेंट नेम व्हेरिएबल आहे, कुणाचं कम्प्युटर सायन्स आणि इंजिनिअरिंग आहे, कुणाचं मेकॅनिकल आहे, कुणाचं इलेक्ट्रिकल आहे. म्हणजे माझी लेंथ फिक्स नाहीये. फिक्स नाही म्हणून मी व्हेरिएबल लेंथ कॅरेक्टर डेटा टाइप मेन्शन केला. and for this we need to pass a maximum size म्हणजे maximum किती words किती letters पर्यंत किती characters पर्यंत माझा data जाऊ शकतो. And for this purpose I am defining this 25. Okay, then next this is my definition of the first column. Okay, first column we define केला. Then next I wanted to define the second column, second attribute. So define this. What is the first name of your attribute? माझ्या attribute चं नाव building आहे. याचा data type कुठला आहे? This is also of type varchar. मग building चं नाव माझ्याकडे छोटा असू शकते किंवा again it can be variable length म्हणजे building name चं सुद्धा variable length same आहे असं मी सांगू शकत नाही. Again here I used a variable length character. Then next a budget. So budget, either you can use int, either you can use float, double, real, precision, or decimal, etc. Any type of value you can use. If you are using integer, मग त्या integerच्या boundary मधलंच तुम्हाला value budgetला द्यावी लागते. But when it comes to the institution, etc., this value might be quite higher. So in such cases, you can refer to a decimal value of maximum length of 10 digits. And 2 digits are there after the decimal point. Okay, this is how we can define a relation. मग ही माझी relation ची minimum requirement झाली की मी attribute define केलाय, त्यांचा domain define केला. Okay, and later on also we can go for defining the integrity constraint. Integrity constraint म्हणजे काय आहे की असे rule की जे मला व्हॅल्यूच्या existence वर restriction लावतात. For example, if I'm saying here age or some another attributes, मग ते attributes माझे इथे लागू होतीलच किंवा त्यांची व्हॅल्यू कशी असायला हवी. That is given by integrity constraint. Now here department name जे आहे ते repeat नाही व्हायला हवं. That is my requirement. So this म्हणजे असं नाही की माझ्याकडे एकाच नावाचे 2 डिपार्टमेंट आहेत असं होऊ शकत नाही. So then it means that I wanted to put the restriction that department name should be unique. माझं प्रत्येक डिपार्टमेंटचं नाव हे युनिक आहे अशी रिक्वायरमेंट मला माझ्या डेटाबेसवर द्यायचे. सो दॅट की समजा आज मी व्हॅल्यू माझी एंटर केली, उद्या माझ्या ठिकाणी पर्सन दुसरा आला, मग त्याला दुसऱ्या डिपार्टमेंटची व्हॅल्यू अप्लाय केली. सो दॅट शुड नॉट बी देअर. सो whenever we are referring to a CSA department, there is only one CSA department. There is only one ENDC department is there. So it means such restrictions we wanted to keep onto the database. अशा restrictions आपल्या database वर apply करावे लागतात कारण की ते रिअल लाईफ मध्ये सुद्धा आहेत. माझ्याकडे कम्प्युटर सायन्स अँड इंजिनिअरिंग हे एकच डिपार्टमेंट आहे. माझ्याकडे अशा नावाचे 2 डिपार्टमेंट माझ्या कॉलेजमध्ये नाहीत. सो देन यू कॅन पुट द restriction like department name. Here I wanted to put the restriction about the primary key. So you can refer this as a primary key. And in bracket pass the attribute name. Okay, so this is how we are defining the integrity constraints. Foreign key जर समजलं नसेल then I can understand. We will repeat into the next lecture. Up to the time being, you should understand the SQL structure, domain relational calculus, and primary key.